we have the next round, the semifinals. This time we're playing a Vulcan Stygian with the Sentient as our champ. Seems great. Let's see. Resto Dedo, Crypt Builder, Restoring Retreat. We fight Temperament again, so we need some defense. We have a lot of healing that might work out. Fell with Armor and Daedalus with Extinguish. Let's take a look at our relics. Founding Seal and the first Hell Pact. These are some really good relics. Do we want to go with Founding Seal because it's busted, or do we want to go with the first Hell Pact because Vulcan's Rail Spike is busted? Founding Seal is probably the more realistic scenario here. Do we go Cultivating or Spikes? I kind of want to go Spikes and enable an Incamp build with it. But Cultivating is also good in an Incamp build, just because it gives an extra draw each turn at least. Let's go with Sentient. Spiked Sentient, I mean, Bristling. Plus 4 attack on enemy units. I think we can deal with this. We have a lot of healing. These Disciple Protectors are a little bit of an issue.
That
helps.
The last round. Oh, hey, I'm muted. Let me mute myself. Sorry about that.
What's left? We have another Resto Dedo and a Restoring Retreat. I'm going to take the risk here. Yeah, I paid off. We got the Resto Dedo off. Unfortunately, that's not quite enough damage. We need 20 more. That sucks. Top floor kill. That wasn't what I wanted. Steel Enhancer, Vine Grasp, Edge Prior. I like the idea of Edge Prior making all these healing spells 0 cost, enabling us to incant even more. There is a Stygian banner. We do have a Restoring Retreat to descend stuff. I'm gonna go with Steel Enhancer though. I don't think that's gonna be what we want. Deep Offering, very nice. I'll gladly take that. These are not the units I was looking for. We don't need Shadowshell, we don't need Cold Celia. I don't think we want the Wielding Sapwood here. I'm gonna skip this. Definitely want a Stygian unit now. Let's see what's in the shop first. Permafrost. Consume upgrade, okay. That doesn't make an Incamp build yet, but it's certainly a good card to have. Let's go Deep Offering. Do we want Permafrost on anything? Maybe the Crypt Builders. But honestly, kinda want the cheaper upgrades here. Want the extra magic power on a Crypt Builder. I want the extra cost reduction on Resto Dedo. For now. Mark of Invasion, okay. So setting up top floor would be ideal. Haste does as well. Top floor is capacity reduced on top of all of this. But we kind of have to be on the top floor here. This is an additional draw. I need a Frozen Lands, please. I had to kill one of these enemies, otherwise We would have had 7 enemies on the top floor, so the overstack rule would have put one on in the pile room. Well, we are dealing with these enemies decently well. I need the rest of that soon. The boss will be a problem. We are not prepared for this boss. Oh, I wish we could play this crypt builder right now and hit the boss with it. Yeah, that's a problem. I'm gonna set the stage for a double resto detto next turn. But that still isn't enough. I don't think we can take that result. Think we have to set up on the bottom floor instead. Take a ton of damage to these early enemies. It's not what I want, certainly not, but we just have to. We even lose the collector due to all of this. But our deck is really weak at the moment, like extremely, unbelievably weak right now. Well, we are aiming for power later on, so that's all fine. Wildwood Zap. Yeah, that helps a little bit. Offering token helps a lot. We need a good Stygian unit. Otherwise, this deck might have trouble. Largestone, Thornstone, Heartstone. Oh, that's a Nameless Siren. No multi-strike yet, though. Amber deposits. With the Nameless Siren, I feel much better about all of this. We want the extra health on the Offering Monument. The spikes don't matter, I just want the health and I don't want to pay for a reroll. Now we need cost reductions. This is pretty scary. I'm not gonna lie. I don't feel comfortable with this deck against Daedalus. But I feel like we'll be okay. But I feel like it's also gonna be one of these just barely okay moments. Actually, we might be much better off than I first thought. But honestly, these draws were kind of nice to us. We need that regen. Well, there we go. The single Nameless Siren changed everything and made our deck into a powerhouse. Spreading Spores. If we can double cost reduce that, in the next space. That's gonna be really good. Not right now, but we could do so here together with an unstable vortex. That's a possibility. I think we'll try to do that. We need more draw. We desperately need more draw. And we need cost reductions. Relic versus card removal. I think it has to be card removals, right? Another Stygian banner isn't bad though.
Or Salink, so you're just approaching ring 4.
Hey, Narninian. Nate, sorry.
No worries. How are you feeling so far?
I struggled in the early game because I made the choice to focus on a deck that's weak early, but strong later. I'm gonna go cultivating here.
Mix it up a little bit. It's always a thing, like bristling. It's really hard to justify going all in, I think.
Yeah, I don't think I want bristling to be my main strategy this time around. I feel like what we want to do is have Sentient kind of as an enabler, backline killer, giving us time to set up our huge incant stuff, fueled by the Founding Seal. And we don't need more than 10, maybe later 20 spikes for armor trials to do that.
Yeah, and even Seraph, right? The biggest thing with the spikes is killing off those multi-striking backliners.
Exactly.
And you do that at rank 1, so there's no real risk here. And I think getting the draw, getting the especially with a build like with Offering Monument, totally makes sense to go all in. I was curious whether when you have that option to take the spike multiplier.
Nice.
That could potentially roll into a full spike build.
It was certainly an option this time around. I saw that unit.
Tough to get flying kills, I'll be honest, but certainly would make it a much easier
flying kills.
Relentless run.
Well, there is always the spell, right?
Yes.
But
Well, good luck. I'm gonna jump into some other players, and we'll check back in later.
Looks like we're gonna be able to beat this fight without taking any more damage. Yeah, that was a successful fight. Our deck feels pretty strong right now. We don't have a plan for double frontliners yet. Oh, I'll take Icicle Fracture. That seems reasonable. The extra energy from Pyre Grow is really good. We do have way too much draw anyways. Unnamed Tome. I don't think we needed this run. Ice Storm? Ice Storm might be helpful. But it eats a lot of upgrades. Where are our spell upgrades going towards? Spell damage upgrades. I wouldn't mind them on the crit builders, of course. But that's not critical. I'm gonna take an Ice Storm, just so I have a very good target for these spell damage upgrades. Here we get our Embers converted. That should be a huge boost to our power level. And it's time for some very important spell upgrades now. We do need the double cost reduction on the spreading spores, otherwise we just can't fuel the huge cost. I'm gonna hold over the offering token. That just means all our crypt builders will be very easy to use. Does consume removal on an excavated ember. Why on an excavated when we can put it on deep offering? It also... yeah, I can also still buy these small upgrades, so that's nice. want the Ice Storm to hit hard. I want the Consume Removal. Wildwood Sap is also tempting. No, we want to draw through our deck quickly to get to all these 0 cost spreading spells as fast as possible. So we want all the draw pretty much. Once our hand is full, we use the Deep Offering to remove all that stuff. Bottom floor is capacity reduced. How do we deal with that? We have Restoring Retreat, I guess. Helping us deal with it. That sucks. Yeah, I think it's correct to skip the collector here. We need one of these on the bottom floor. Yeah, this is what I've been looking for the entire time. And let's get the regen up. Actually, I don't think we're gonna have trouble with double frontliners. We are starting to gather enough damage spells to actually deal with them. Yeah, I need to draw this turn. I need to get the regen up. It's gonna be very important here. Are we just dying to burst 32? No, we are not. So the regen should do it. That worked out very, very well. Another perfect fight in the bag. Edgeprior, Pyre Shards, Bramble-Ash. Bramble-Ash is already a 100 damage nuke. So it's basically like a crit builder or something. It's just that its 2 cost is bothering me a little bit. I'm still gonna take it. It has very, very powerful uses. Titan's Tooth is basically a 0 cost with this deck because we do have a holdover. Offering token. I'm gonna take this chance to look for multi-strike for my Siren. I think our next cuts are the Frozen Lancers. Anything else seems too important to cut. Maybe the unupgraded Crypt Builder. Quick is really bad here. That means I will save my money. Am I going to another Merchant of Steel? This one, yes. Multi-strike would be such a huge boost for us that I really want to try going for that. Okay, no armor on the bottom floor on our first turn. That's big. Looking for my Siren. If I draw now, I can play it. So I'm gonna set up the offering token on the next floor. Offering totem. So we can actually place our Siren. This guy's gonna gain a lot of armor. How do we deal with this? Maybe we can't. We need enough damage to kill the Alabaster Guardian this turn. That is kinda necessary. Yeah, that guy will suck. This one on the other hand, we can probably nuke. I was hoping to draw into the Restoring Retreat earlier to actually get this guy away from the pyre. But we'll just have to take the damage here. That is extremely painful. Not having the Siren on turn 1 was the issue here. $20 damage, minus 40% score for this fight. That's gonna put us back quite a bit. I am considering restarting. We have time. But it's not like, you know, we have to. We set this up differently. Differently but similar. Not like this. Okay, I do now know my plan. That was a little bit of a waste of time, but it gave me the time I needed to figure out how to approach this. Never mind. This is my last try on this fight. Otherwise, after that I need to head on. I need to play all the spells on this floor. I'm just not smart, am I? But I have it figured out now. Apparently I haven't. But it's okay. That will be good enough. We're just gonna do the incant on this floor. Still need some health on the bottom floor. And we're now gonna use this siren to kill that guy. And then as soon as we are done with that, send the siren down to the bottom floor. Now we can actually use our nuke spells against enemies that go past, and that's gonna be a huge help. Except this guy doesn't want to get nuked, apparently. And now we end up taking damage anyways. But I don't have the time to redo this another time. Oh. Whoops. Made a mistake there. Okay, that was a rough fight for us. Lost a lot of score. Spike of the Stygian, no. Wildwood Tome, definitely no. I should have gone for energy there, maybe. Wing clippings for our ember caches. Not ember caches. What's it called? That sucks. No multi-strike for us. We have to deal with everything with spells then. I'm gonna go spikes 20 now. Just in case we have to deal with stuff like armor. Ugh, this trial is also not gonna be the easiest one. Unless we draw like this. This is scary. Luckily we got the holdover on Titan's Tooth. That's gonna be a big game changer here. We should be able to finish these guys on their respective floors. It's actually an annoying amount of health that guy has there. There we go, and set up the offering monument to descend it later. Oh, this is a difficult deck to play. Quite stressful right now. But it seems like we are doing pretty well right now. It just takes a bit to get going. Yeah, extra Ember would have helped a lot. I shouldn't spend too much time on this anymore, and just make sure I have enough time for the Seraph fight to optimize that if necessary. From this round there will be... Another Restoring Retreat is very tempting here. An Invigorating Solution doesn't do a whole lot, yeah. From this round there will be 5 players moving on to the finals. I really want a multi-strike. It's not... Wait, I already filled my slots. Whoops. More draw later on, that's gonna be helpful. Units get an extra upgrade slot. No multi-strike still. I want the spell weakness chance. That helps us a lot in dealing with frontliners. The Frozen Lances will actually matter in this fight. I'm gonna cut some restores. Okay, I don't think we're getting a great score this time around, but we might just get a good enough score to put us at a decent spot where we are pretty easily qualified. Yeah, we need the initial scaling here. Then we'll actually kill the Lightwings. And then, once we descend this unit, it will get healed anyways. It's time to empty my hand. Yeah, having both here at the same time is not the best thing in the world. That's wasting a lot of potential. Nice, nice. Ice Storm. Oh, no Light Wings on the top floor. Nice to see that. I was worried there might be some. We'll go with the Crypt Builder here. Then Titan's Tooth, Ice Tornado.
So how Link, how are you feeling about this Seraph fight?
I'm feeling confident. It's gonna be a 3-turn boss rush. No damage taken. Which is honestly pretty good for a Covenant 25 Seraph fight, right?
Yeah, I think unless you literally went all in on Bristling and Bramble Lash, and even then I'm not even convinced you could get a flying kill here. It's a tall order.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, it looks so far like you're doing just fine. You have a lot of AoE, a lot of Titan's Tooth.
I don't have that much AoE actually. That's just one Titan's Tooth. I'm just cycling
Oh, just
my
the
deck
one.
really
Just
quickly.
happened to show up while we were watching. And
I have a
okay.
ton of draw, as you can see if you look at my relics and deck.
A lot of zero cost spreading spells.
Spreading spores. Yeah, when you have a lot of draw, these tend to be quite good.
Yes. And I think your Siren is no slouch there in the back.
Yeah, that's... I mean, I never found multi-strike, which I really would have liked for her, but that's good enough. I think that should put me at a decent spot to qualify for the for the finals, although Narninian might have me beat on score this time.
He does have a very, very different build. He's opting for this overstacked floor. I think he said he had 3 different Sirens.
Yeah,
So
that
he's
makes
planning to do
sense.
it.
I was tempted to dupe it, but I wanted to upgrade it first, and I could never find the multi-strike, so I hold out with the upgrades until very, very late, and I also had a time where I was dealing with the enemies with just things like Ice Storm and Crypt Builders so efficiently that I think it was fine to not have multiple units. Yeah, I went very all in on the Founding Seal I found early and built my strategy around that.
And it makes a lot of sense. The 2 offering monuments just gave you an insane first turn, which then should be enough to carry you through the rest of the fights.
Yeah. Honestly, I probably should have taken 1 energy relic from bosses. Sometimes it was hard to get get the first turn really going the way I wanted, despite me having the excavated embers as well. The Founding Seal also makes you use up the offering monuments a lot faster and oftentimes overdrawing your hand when you're already at 10 cards and playing spells.
I even saw there's a couple players that took the staff instead just to have that guaranteed every turn.
Yeah,
Ember.
that's certainly nice, but when you're building around Founding Seal, and at that point I didn't really know how my Incant set is gonna look like, so I went for the excavated ember there, and I don't regret it.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. certainly this one's going to come down to score. Almost everybody looks in good shape to finish Seraph.
Happy to hear it. Makes it only
Hopefully, yeah,
more
we're gonna
exciting.
it's gonna get close too.
Oh,
Wow,
I managed
what?
to prevail against Noninian here.
All right, well, I'm gonna check in on some of the players that are still rolling, and
Yep.
we're almost finished with this round. But it looks like you're probably set to make it into the finals.
Well, I think I already am. There are only 3
Yes.
more people left here, huh? So yeah,
Yeah. Well,
looking
so
forward.
a couple of them are non-players, just playing that
Oh
are
yeah,
watching.
okay.
But yeah, I think you're still probably just fine.
Yeah,
All right.
probably should be. Anyways, see you later. Thank you, puppets. I am happy to read this. It's always a lot of fun to transform a deck that's struggling into a deck that really feels very powerful. That's one of the most fun things in this game. But in this case, I think our deck was basically set to be strong in the late game and weak in the early game because we took Founding Seal, which is a huge relic, started building around it immediately, even before we even had a single incant unit. So that's mostly what gave me struggles here in the early game. Then again, we had some trouble with the Spell Shield Fell. I didn't anticipate that. That was actually a bit surprising to me that we actually struggled with the Spell Shields on Fell. And if I had more time to optimize this fight, I probably could have gotten away without taking damage to Fell there, or at least way less damage than I actually took there. But it was a difficult fight and it was hard to optimize properly. So how... Well, Noninian was ahead in score up until Seraph. And then he dropped 900 points on Seraph and gave me the lead back. Thank you, puppets. Oh, a couple more scores have arrived. Let's take a look at these decks. Now Ninian went with a similar build to ours, but went with Cultivate 2, draw 2 each turn. I would have done so as well if I went for Energy here. Now Ninian also went with Double Draw, interestingly enough, and still went for the extra Cultivate. He also had an Edge Prior. He really built into the option to descend with the Restoring Retreats. He also cost reduced it early, which I can only commend. I wish I would have done the same. And then overstacking, multi-striking Lameless Siren, wherever that multi-strike was, turned out to be a pretty good strat. Awake with Holdover, not a bad thing to have either. I didn't need it because I had the Spreading Spores instead, which I don't know if they were the greatest idea, but it's just a way to get many zero costs in the deck and then draw them with Deep Offering. So that worked out very well for me, so it was fun, but gave me a little bit of trouble in the Fell fight there. Noninian skipped the Caverns event. Decided to not take either the staff nor the Embers, which I really don't agree with, but it worked out pretty well for him, so. Another Spikes Cultivating Sentient. We have Edge Prior again, a double striking Shadowrachel, and Siren of the Sea. Interesting. It's a very different build. Found the Wildwood Tome to speed up the Shadowrachel, dealing with frontliners without having them deal damage, backliners without having them deal damage to the Sentient. Bramble-Ash makes sense. Ice Tornado. I'm a bit surprised to see 2 of those in the deck. But Penguin did have a couple more energy ember points to spend per turn, so looks like that worked out for Penguin quite well indeed. So looks like we're gonna get some announcement to how on the finals.
And just to keep it a little bit more interesting, we'll show off current rankings. And I'll do a quick refresh to make sure that I have the most accurate ranking. Good. All right, so how's everybody feeling? I think we had a really strong performance on this last run. It was definitely not easy.
Yeah, that was a fun one. I, of course, love Awoken's Stygian, so.
Yeah, I mean, Awoken Stygian has a lot of inherent synergies, so that's always
Explosive
a strong
didn't show up.
combo.
My pet path didn't show up.
Yeah, I was hoping for Explosive as well, you can bet.
I was hoping for the opposite because I'm so bad with explosives. So I'm glad it did not show up at all.
Served you pretty well, it seems.
Yeah, no, that was a good one. That was a lot of fun. Very close in some battles for me. It was like the matter of just like a couple extra regen that pushed you right over the edge.
Ooh,
I think I lost on ring 1. Like I lost it to Selink on ring 1 because I was only a couple hundred points behind.
Was ring 1? Ring 1 was actually the difference. Yeah, you lost 260 points there. You would have had me if not for that.
Jeez.
I think almost everyone went with a blended approach with the champion here. There are a couple people went all in. I think who went all in on the cultivating? Was that Gabriel? Did you go all in there?
Yeah, I went all in, and I 100% regret it.
Ouch!
I was hoping for a. Sorry, go ahead.
No, please.
Oh, I was kind of hoping for Animus of Will because I do love cultivating with Animus of Will, but I kind of got sloppy with this kind of. It's like, okay, now I'm going Siren and can't build, and my cultivating is just sort of sitting there, just being a draw upgrade at this point.
Yeah, I think Cultivate doesn't scale well in the beginning, earlier battles. Right. There's no compromising when you take spikes and you just have that like ranged minion in the back for the enemy. Like there's just no compromise. I can look at my deck and see that, you know, I'm likely not to get a first floor kill. And by that definition, I should be taking spikes. But Cultivate, I don't know. It's more fun. I haven't played it as much. Figure I'd give it a shot. And yeah, I also went all in. So it was interesting. I think if I had more time, I could get the score up because I had some dudes just like sneaking by. But otherwise, Cultivate's pretty strong.
Yeah.
Well, we have a very tight race. Between 5th and 6th, we have less than 600 points. But I think
talking about. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Singwin.
Sorry, I was just talking to my chat. My bad.
No, you're fine. But yeah, it's only 600 point difference between 5th and 6th place. But still, I think really, really strong showing from everyone. This was a really tough one to. I honestly, I don't see the possibility of a strong flying kill. I guess if someone went pure bristling and just had their deck full of the bramble ashes, maybe. But I think you would just get wrecked.
I want to say there might have been an infinite in this run if you played it correctly, but I'm not sure about that.
Was there ever a cycle of life offered?
I didn't see any, no. But there were the
Steel Enhancer.
Steel Enhancer doesn't quite work out, but there were also the excavated embers, not excavated.
So you mean going like
the embers that you could put.
Embers and then infinity.
Yeah, that you could put consume remove on, something like that. But I don't know if the removals and stuff would have worked out.
I didn't see any consume remove in my run, but
I did
didn't
find
go to
one.
every shop.
Yeah, I
think it was
somebody had
offered.
one.
Yeah, I saw it. I've never acknowledged how strong it is removing the consume. I saw someone did that. I've actually never seen that, so I was a little interested to see how that works. But
It's a pretty solid infinite. I think. I mean, my favorite is the cycle of life on the offering monuments, but infinite excavated embers certainly works. It's a little bit slower in terms of getting the damage, but and that's the one risk, right? Even if you get an infinite deck, can you play it within the time limit? With Founding Seal, maybe it's okay, but it would still be tough, I think.
yeah, depends how you get it to work. But yeah, I think it's also worth mentioning. I have an obligation in about 30 minutes, so I'd be more than happy to give my spot to the number 6 guy. If that
Okay,
was
Brinkley,
okay.
if you're still on, then if you're
I'm
okay
still
with
on.
that, then
I'm okay with that if you're okay with that, Grog. Was that Gerg or? Sorry.
Gerg.
Yeah,
We're
Gurg
talking.
works. It's also how you correctly pronounce it. Yeah, it's all good. I'd rather have you play than me try and speed through a run and just like abruptly leave. So
You appreciate it, man. Thanks.
yeah, no worries.
Great. Then give you guys a little bit of a break, and we'll be up in just about 8 minutes.
All right,
Sounds good.
Nathaniel, just want to say thanks for hosting this. I think any exposure to Monster Train is really solid. Hopefully, we can build momentum from here, and I'm excited for the new DLC.
Yeah, I mean, I plan to do more tournaments. I think makes a lot of sense. There's a lot more. This one, I wanted to just make sure the tournament format worked. I hope that this is okay. Seems like it's been okay for everyone, this structure. And now we can maybe get more creative with themes in the future. But at least the structure, I think, works quite well. So no, we'll keep it going. As I said, I'm gonna jump off now and do a little bit of prep work for the finals.
Okay, I'd like
Thanks,
to see a
everyone.
Hell Rush tournament. That'd be sweet. But all right, yeah, I'll head off.
Thanks again.
Yeah, good luck.
GG, Gerg.
Yeah,
Good luck, everybody. I'll
everyone.
see you in the finals.
Yeah, good luck. See you in the finals. Whew. Having fun. This is a great event. So yeah, so the finals will be played with the Homebreaker Prince as our champion. We can deduce that because we have played all the other classic champs by now, and the theme is the classic Monster Train with the traditional clans and just Coven 25, no special mutators or anything. For the secondary clan, who do we have left? We played Melting Hellhound, we played Awoken Stygian, we played Stygian Melting. So the secondary clan is gonna be Umbra. We played Umbra Awoken. Yeah, so it's probably gonna be Hellhound Umbra. A combination I'm pretty confident in my abilities to pilot. And a combination I think is one of the stronger ones out there. There are quite a few slightly hidden synergies with Hellhound and Umbra. But yeah, there are quite a few options for that strategy, so I'm gonna keep an open mind and see what gets offered and just play it to the best of my abilities. Even though I won both the quarter and the semifinals with first place, I don't consider my position secure here. I think, especially in Armenian, I have a lot of respect. I haven't heard of these other participants as much. Yeah, but they have shown that they are very capable monster train players, so I need to be on my guard here if I want to win this.